What's up, guys? I finally got my hands on one of these HDZERO WHOOP LITE VTX. This is one of the most amazing things for me to come out. Ever since I heard about this, I couldn't wait to get my hands in it. It's finally here. It's a very exciting time for me. I'm sure you're very familiar with this by now because yeah, there have been lots of videos out there. I'm just going to show what it was like for me. I know you can buy the Mobula 6 that has this already set up. You don't have to do anything, but if you're like me and you have a few 1S builds lying around and you'd like to convert them, I'm just going to show you some very simple things that I came across that's probably going to help you out in building this. Now, I have to say, number one, I am so pleased with the weight of this. First of all, you got to take off these this shielding. It's not really a heat sink, it's more like a shielding. I wish I could keep it on, but obviously it adds weight. It's very easy to come off. You can just pull and that just pops right off. I'm not going to do it yet because I'm going to set this one up right. And yeah, it's amazing how light this is, and I want to show you how much my build weighs. It was just really weird to see how weight didn't change much compared to my analog builds. This camera is super duper light. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like 1.6 1.7 grams. Just amazing that they could get it that light. I must say though that the lens is really tiny. Sorry, my nails are crappy. I was working on car engines, but yeah, the lens is so tiny, and it actually gives you a decent image, but I always like a wider field of view. I really do, and it gives an okay field of view. They say it's like a repurposed cell phone lens. It looks pretty good. It has really decent nighttime performance also, and I'm pleased. I don't think I'm going to want to change this lens. The problem I have with this lens is that it's really hard to clean. I noticed that a lot of videos online have flights where the lens has like a fingerprint or something. Because the lens is so sunken in there, it's kind of hard to clean. The edges always seem to have some smudginess on it, so just be wary of that. If it's clean, it looks really, really well, and I believe it's not a glass lens. It probably is plastic, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is glass, but whatever it is, it's super light. I love it, and it works very well. I would really love to see a super wide lens, but maybe one day I'll try to mod that with like one of the older lenses or something. Second thing is, oh yeah, still on the camera, the screw mounts in this are tiny. So these screws are not the regular size. It will work in your Whoop canopies. Most of them have smaller holes, but I think that some of the canopies that use the regular cameras, it might be difficult to get in there. I have this. This is not like built properly. Obviously, this is not really even a canopy. I can really smash the camera. This is just to hold the camera in place, just to see how it performs. But yeah, these holes are made for regular screws, and it actually fits in there quite well. So I guess you can fit it into some regular canopies, but just be wary when you get this. The holes for the camera are actually a lot smaller than you're used to, and that was a little bit of a shock to me because I was actually trying to put regular screws in there. I'm like, why isn't it going in? And then I realized it's actually smaller. So that was quite hilarious to see. And the second thing is, if you have not used since I was using the older 2S board, it didn't come with smart audio, and I think that smart audio might just not be usable, or it might be what we call like redundant, or just, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna get rid of that because you can obviously control it through the RX and TX, and somehow in the Betaflight code you might be able to just do everything through just RX and TX instead of having to connect the smart audio. But I had no experience in working with HDZERO's smart audio, so I just stuck this directly onto the same smart audio pad that was on my flight controllers. I'm using the Beta FPV ELRS version 1 and version 2, and most of the boards that I've used, the smart audio is on a soft serial. It's not on a dedicated TX. And if you know what that is, soft serial is basically an emulated UART. So it's not, it's like software emulated, so it's not an actual UART, and you can't you can't use that. It doesn't work. I was like really knocking my head out trying to figure out why that was the case until I saw a post saying that you have to have a dedicated UART. So if you have not enough free UARTs, that's the problem, because you have to take up one whole UART with the RX TX, and you have to have another free TX to add it to smart audio. It has to be just a regular UART. It can't be soft serial. That's the one thing I learned. So I just cut the wire off, and even if you have the wire connected, it seems to disable the VTX menu that you get with the system, where you just bring the sticks in and down. Yeah, so you have to not connect that. I just would recommend if you you can live without it basically. I would like to have smart audio because the whole idea of that is just integrate into Betaflight, and yeah, everything will be fine. I have two of these builds. I love my 1S builds, by the way. You've been seeing this on my channel. I love that they're small, they're quiet, and you can fly them most places, and it's just incredible. I love these things. So this is analog. This is the one that I just made. This is my HDZERO now. Take note of the motor. This is what is this? 1202.5 or something like that. It says plus, which is really 0.5, and this one is on 1103. Usually 1103s are lighter. I could be wrong. They probably cancel each other out with the weight, in meaning that they're probably the same weight. But when I weigh this, check this out. Let me just get text and space here. Okay, this is the analog build. Let's make sure it's not touching anything here. And he comes in at 44.7. This is the analog build. I know the canopy is a bit bigger, so that's it. 44.7, and it's using the same flight controller that I have in here, same everything except the canopy. And this is 44.7. Well, how weird is that? That is amazing. This is a digital whoop that's actually the same weight as my analog, and that's mind-blowing. It really is. And that's the magic of this system, guys. HDZERO has done something that nobody else has, and at least right now. I know that Walksnail is saying that they're going to make a Whoop VTX, but I highly doubt they're going to be able to get it this small, because their system has this, like DJI has receive, transmit, and it's just doing a lot more things, and those chips are going to be heavier, I'm sure. So I don't think they're going to be able to beat this, but hey, if they do, I'm surely going to check it out. But for now, HDZERO is where it's at, guys, and I love the way this flies. It feels amazing. And I also made my own whoop. So this was just I had those parts lying around, and I decided to just try and make my own little whoop. So my canopy here, actually, I'm not going to say I made it. I just kind of modified it from a design that I found somewhere in Thingiverse. Sorry if I'm not able to link where I got it from. But this was made for the Runcam, one of those Runcam cameras that didn't have any mounts, and I think it was a Runcam Nano 4 or 3, whatever it was. And I just kind of modified it to put this camera in here. It's super light. This probably weighs like a gram and something, like a gram and 0.2 or something. And I really like this canopy. It's really hard to find canopies for this camera, so if you guys want a link to the STL, let me know. I can put that somewhere. But I love this. This is my favorite whoop, guys. It's just amazing. Before this, the only way I could get HDZERO on a whoop was on this guy, and the weight difference between this and this is like 10 grams. It's absolutely amazing that I have a whoop now with HD, and it's 10 grams less than my favorite drone that I used to fly when that one first came out. Guys, it's amazing time. And I also want to say that what HDZERO is missing right now are goggles. So I was lucky to get these Fat Shark HD, forgot what the name of it was, Scout HD, that was it was. They need to make a budget goggles. No matter what happens, they're coming out with a set of goggles too, and it's going to be amazing. But they really need, and I think I heard that they are going to do that. But this is what makes me love HDZERO, because I have I took my module off because it made this really heavy. But I had the module for the first module that came out. Still works, but the freaking power wire, the splitter, got damaged, and it just keeps shutting off. And also the HDMI that sits in the bottom had a short, and it was annoying to have to plug two things in. This one I can just plug it in, and it's just like my analog builds. I can just go. So this is what makes me love HDZERO, having a goggle. So if you're on the fence about HDZERO, they are coming with a goggle. It's going to look like any regular high-end goggles. I hear it's going to be really good quality. We'll see what that's going to be. But that's what's killing HDZERO now. But I know that they're going to have goggles like this. I love this goggles. It's not the best, but I love it because it's simple and it just works. I can plug it in and I can use it like my analog goggles. It's great. HDZERO, thank you. And I think if you're on the fence about getting this, just get it, guys. It's amazing. It's just the future. And flying HD on your 1S builds is way better. Don't let anybody say anything else and try to tell you that it's just like analog. It is way better than analog. Believe me, by far. That's what I have to say about this. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy flying.